says it's streaming, but it hasn't popped up yet. So give me just 1 second. There it goes. All right, and I got 7:30. So let me go ahead and resume recording. So it's 7:30, and we will call this May 10th, 2021 council meeting to order. We'll start tonight with prayer and the pledge. Join me first in the Our Father. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Brian, will you give us a quick roll call?
Let's see. Cosgray.
Present.
Foreman.
Present.
Hamilton. Mike on?
I don't see him on there, and I didn't hear from him.
Hankinson.
Present.
Keller.
Present.
McCreary.
Present.
All right. Well, we've got 5, which is good for our emergency legislation tonight.
There's Mike now.
I just made it. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. Mike is here.
Mike is
Good
there.
deal.
Okay. All right.
All right. So we got everybody. Even better. First is approval of the minutes of the April 26th meeting.
Mayor, I've reviewed the minutes and I'd like to move to approve those minutes.
Foreman seconds.
All right. All right. Any discussion on it? Hearing none, roll call.
Okay. Cosgray.
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Hankinson.
Yes.
Keller.
Yes.
McCreary.
Yes.
All right. Minutes will be approved as written. Moving on next to our agenda for tonight, we do have one amendment, which would be to add Cosgray as the sponsor to 2021-14. That
Okay,
just came out of finance.
I'll move to approve the minutes as amended to add Wade Cosgray to as the sponsor on 2021-14.
All right. Is there a second?
Foreman seconds.
All right. Discussion. Roll call.
Let's see. McCreary.
Yes.
Keller.
Yes.
Hankinson.
Yes.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes.
Cosgray.
Yes.
All right. So we've got an agenda. First item is visitors. I do not see, we've got Tim and Joey and Brad on here, but I don't see any visitors public on here. So we will move on. And if no one has any objections, we'll go down to Terry's normal area since Terry is on vacation this week. But that didn't stop some of us from talking to her at 6 a.m. this morning. But we'll switch down and do the VA section first so that Joey and Tim and Brad, who all had a very long day, can give us their update and then get off here and enjoy their evening. And then I'll circle back and do my updates. So Tim, Brad, Joey, whichever one of you wants to hop on and go first.
I can go first because it'll be kind of quick, actually. Since the last, I guess, update on the wastewater plant, not much has changed just due to delay in our chlorine delivery and also due to weather. I think on the last update, we were planning on doing the membrane chlorine cleans, but it took, I think it was a week or more to get chlorine finally. And then when it finally did come, we experienced a lot of rain. So with that rain, we can't really take a membrane out of service for 3 to 4 days with that much rain coming. So we've been holding off on the membrane cleans, but our solids have stayed the same, which is good. We've been wasting normally, trying to keep our solids low and at the normal operating limit. So the only thing that's new is we had a pump that went out at Company Street. I think it's been worked on one time. It's an original flight pump. It's getting worked on. I believe the impeller in it is what broke. So we're looking at cost of repair and cost of a new pump. So we'll know more about that when we hear back from Warwood Armatures. So, but other than that, there's really not a whole lot more. I mean, we are overflowing some right now. Just we've had a crazy amount of rain over the last week and a half. So once that starts to subside, we'll work on getting the membranes cleaned and hopefully get them back to normal operations.
All right. Anybody got any questions for Brad?
Yes, I do. Hey, Brad,
Yeah.
we had in the finance meeting, we talked about the sludge. And
Yeah.
you had to haul it down to Athens County.
Yeah.
You don't have any farmers that can take that at the time, and or you had to get rid of it.
No, not at the time, and not at a short notice like that. Normally we have Kenny Reinhauer is the one that takes that, but usually that's scheduled, and it's usually in the fall after harvest. It being with the time of the year and us having to get the sludge out in a hurry, we were not able to do that because it was a kind of an emergency situation. But normally, if we have it planned out, it normally goes to land application. But it just didn't. It wasn't able to work out that way.
Okay, that's just I just want to want to know.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions for Brad?
Yeah, Brad, how
All
much,
right.
I mean, how much are we overflowing right now? I mean, how many days have we been overflowing?
That would be since last Tuesday. It's been up and down, obviously, with the rain.
Right.
We're looking at it's anywhere from 150 to 400,000 gallons a day, just depending on when the rainfall occurs. Like yesterday, we had an inch, maybe even more in some spots. So obviously that was a heavier flow day. It is slowing down. I looked at it today before I left. It is slowing down, but what is also nice is that it's mostly rainwater. So it's not got the issues that we had before when we had EPA out there looking at it. This is mostly rainwater. It's kind of muddy, like downstream into the creek. So the fields that are running off into the discharge stream is also going into that, diluting that down too. So it's nowhere near like what we experienced a couple months ago.
Okay.
Brad, I had one other question for you real quick.
Yeah.
That was the pump at the lift station you're talking about that's out right now?
Yeah.
All right. That's all I had.
All right. Anything else for Brad? All right, Brad, you can stay on for Tim and Joey if you want, or pop off. I know it's been a long day. But we appreciate you joining.
That's no problem.
All right.
Yep.
Tim,
Good work today. Thanks.
Joey,
Thank you.
It doesn't look like Joey's going to come on, does it?
No,
Um,
he's still muted and camera off, and we can hear you, but your camera's not showing anything. But go ahead, Tim.
Well, you don't want to see me anyway. You guys all know what happened today, but I guess my thing would be we talk about the swimming pool. We've got all the paint. The caulking is done. We've done a lot of cleaning, and it is our intent, if this weather straightens up, that we get it painted this week and start filling on the 17th, next Monday. We have a little bit of plumbing work to do, which is not much, but I'm waiting on a little bit of stuff there. And the raindrop pump is in, but we need parts to come in for that to get that plumbed up also. Mr. Little put a new motor starter in there for that because it's a little bit bigger motor on this one. But we're really in pretty good shape other than just trying to get our paint down. Everything else is pretty well done. So that and mowing grass.
All right. Questions for Tim, or
Yeah, Tim,
if not,
today's break, was it like a thin area in the pipe where it let go, or like was over on Main Street? Or was this like a fitting?
well, why don't we
it-
go ahead and bring Joey
Yeah,
on then to talk a little bit about that too.
Yeah, because
Can you hear me now?
Joe could tell you what it was.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
There, we got you.
All right. So, no, there was a hole in that pipe that I could put my fist into. And then some hairline cracks off of that. We ended up putting a 20-inch clamp on it, which might have been a little oversized, but we were that far into it, so might as well do it.
Okay. I guess the reason I ask is because we had a big one like that down there by Butch, by the auto company down the road. And I'm just wondering how much of that pipe is compromised along that section of road, because it could be leaking and going right into the storm. We wouldn't even know it in other areas. I'm just wondering if a lot of that pipe down through Market Street is on the brink.
And the feel of that pipe, no.
Okay.
It wasn't really pitted, which you can tell. I mean, being that pitted, I guess it's hard to explain. When you feel it and you feel that many pits in it, you know it's failing like fast. But that pipe on the outsides of where I put a clamp was not pitted at all.
Okay. Do you have pics coming later, or was it too dark?
Well, most of it was underwater.
Right.
Pretty much the whole
I can
time.
attest. There was a lot of water in that hole.
I saw it. I saw it. But yeah, I just there have been two within 100 yards right there in the last 12 months. I'm just wondering if we don't have like an inner, a section of pipe there that needs to be replaced. I mean, we know we do. But
I can't completely answer that. Could be. I mean, I know we've been in there obviously a couple times from, well, before Oak Street to Union Street now. And the one was, I mean, I think we threw 4 or 5 foot of pipe in there.
Right.
This one luckily was just a clamp, but I mean, it's
Well,
possible.
both of them were big. Both of them were big for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was on it over by your 501 building several years ago too, and out in front of Russ Shank's house. So there's 4 spots in the last 14 years that I can tell you of. So
Wow.
in that area.
Okay. Do we have mapping that shows us where that pipe would begin and end, or is it the entire length of Market Street where we're dealing with the same pipe?
Your maps are going to show you what the size is, Rick. That's 8-inch through there. And that's 8-inch until you get, Joe, I think it's
Well, pretty much.
4 Basel Street. I think it's around Factory,
Yeah.
and then it changes to 6. So
Just right around Factory.
it drops down to 6, and then up in your neck of the woods, past Liberty, it drops down to 4. So, so it's all different sizes, and I don't know. I think that's some of the better pipe. It's not like what Main Street was like, even though the nice thing is, we got Main Street is basically done.
Right.
But it's nothing like that mess was. I can tell you that. Not yet.
Okay.
All right. And so, Joey, so you've got your report done because we have the boil alert that had to go to the EPA, but just so everyone knows and is on the same page, when do the tests go out? And we need, 2 negative tests back. So when do those go out? What's our timeline on that to be able to lift the boil alert?
So I will send samples out tomorrow. MassI picks up. And then I will send, as long as I get a positive result, which I know within 12 hours, and negative, I guess. As long as they're negative, I will send another set out on Wednesday. So we're looking at Thursday, latest Friday.
Okay.
Is when I would be able to lift it.
So the earliest is Thursday and latest is probably Friday?
Yep.
Okay.
Joe, can you take out of the house?
I can pretty much take out of anything. It's the only thing that concerns me with a house would be like your kitchen faucet, because it's got a screen in it. Well, then I got to pull all that out. Then I got to chlorinate it. There's a process to that back tea sample. The easiest way to do it on a house is a hose bib, an outside hose bib, because there's no screens, no nothing. I disinfect it, let it run, pull the sample, and I'm done.
Just
will you take
Rick Foreman's over that way? I didn't know if that would be a good area to pull that or not for you on on the west side.
I
Well,
mean,
you got Rick and you got Rick and Mike and Brandy all over that way.
right.
How did we communicate the boil alert? Because I assumed we were under one, but I never saw the communication.
Thank goodness for Casey Farmer. Talking to him this morning, and he got a hold of Fairfield County EMA and did that reverse 911 is what they did. So that's how we handled that.
And then
I didn't get that.
You did?
I did not. No.
It's also posted on the village website. The thing that we found out with this on the reverse 911 is because people don't have landlines. if you have a cell phone, you need to register with it in order to get the reverse 911 call.
Okay.
And Casey did a good job realizing that people weren't getting the call, and he put the EMA link on the fire district's Facebook page for people to be able to sign up for it. Back in the days of landlines, it was easy to do, but now with everyone having cell phones, you have to register for it.
Okay, because I was watching for it. I expected it, but I didn't see it. And I still haven't at this point. Did you see it, Brandy or Mike?
I got a call at like 5:15, I think it was this morning.
Yeah, when I called Tim and he said, "Did you get a reverse 911?" I thought, I don't even know what he's talking about. I don't have any water.
Yeah.
This is Brian Holbrook.
Yeah.
I did get both messages from John Coaches. One was at 5:52 this morning, and it was about the water main break. The tower was empty. And the second one was 8:18, and it was the boil alert. So I've been registered with them for some time, and those both came to me probably as quickly as he put them out.
Yeah, I got a call at 5:55 this morning.
What about you, Brandy?
I saw it. I didn't get the call. I'm not registered, but I am going to be now. Because
Yes, me too.
Someone sent me the link, so I don't have a landline.
Me
So
neither.
I will be registering this evening.
Yeah, probably a good thing when you talk to people, especially for you folks that live on that area, send them there to register. And it's good for everyone. You know what, Barb, if you're still on, and I know you are, we may want to put the link to register on the webpage as well. We don't have it there yet, but since people are going there for the alert, we might want to put a link to the reverse 911 registry on the webpage for it as well.
I hate to say this, but we might want to put it on We Love Our Town Baltimore too. I know that site isn't.
Well, and once it starts to go around, I think they've already shared the fire district one.
Okay.
And I know Joey was trying to get some notice out there to them, but the way it's set up, they have to approve posts. So until someone sees it, it's not an instantaneous notification. But I do think they've shared the reverse 911 registry stuff, and I've seen some stuff floating around. So all right. Well, all I know is when I see Joey calling my phone at 3 a.m., it's never anything good. So hopefully, Joey, you don't have to make that call again anytime in the near future.
I hope not.
All right. Does anybody else have anything for Joey or Tim? Or Joey, Tim, do you guys have anything for us?
Other than great job today, guys. Everybody appreciated your hard work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yep. Amen, guys.
Yep.
I never lost water pressure, actually.
Oh, you lucky dog, you.
Uh-huh. Don't say that too loud.
I did.
All right. Well, if Tim, Brad, Joe, you guys don't have anything else for us, I know you guys had a very, very, very long day, so we appreciate you hopping on here. But you guys can, hop off and enjoy your evening, get some shut-eye, do whatever. You guys have definitely earned it today.
All righty. See you later.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, all right. That is actually a good segue back into my section, where the first thing on my list is the infrastructure bill that is being floated around in Washington. And there's one at 2.6 trillion and there's one at 500 billion. So there's, it's a fraction of it. And there are reports coming out that especially on the water side of it, even if some of it goes through, how it will get dispersed to communities. Long and short of the story, there still isn't anything out there. Everyone's talking about it, which is, I guess, a good thing that they're finally talking about water infrastructure and stuff like that. But the bad side is they're doing typical Washington talk, and there's not a lot of action. So we'll see what happens between now and the next meeting. Which is also a good segue into, at the last meeting we talked about Representative Stivers vacating his seat to take a position. We have five Republicans and one Democrat so far that have announced they're going to run for it. I know several of them and have connections with several of them, so that could, if they are elected, hopefully be a benefit to not just Baltimore, but the entire area, because we all need some infrastructure stuff. So that is set. I want to say that special election, the primary is in August, and then the November general election. So we will be without a sitting representative from May through sometime in November. So we'll see how that affects us as well. Last thing, I brought it up at the last meeting. It's quickly becoming a pet peeve of mine and some of the parks and the parks users. I've started analogizing it to the tail wagging the dog. I know Terry is working closely with the Parks Committee to work on some of the issues. Over the weekend, the baseball group had a fundraiser out at Alt Park. This morning, they dropped off their $150 park rental tournament fee, which included their fee for Sunday, even though they got rained out. Since they had reserved the park to be able to use it for a tournament, they went ahead and paid for that. And their fundraiser was to actually raise funds to put in better seats, better grandstands at Alt Park. But that led then to Terry and I discussing a little bit about the fact that softball and soccer and some of the other groups have yet to even comply with the basic set of rules of providing us the information and giving us the basic information to use. So I know the Parks Committee will be discussing that at their next meeting, but like I said, it's quickly becoming a pet peeve of mine because it feels like the tail is wagging the dog when it comes to village parks and how they're managed and run. So that's all I have for now, I guess. If anybody has any questions for me, if not, I'll throw it over to Brian. All right. Hearing nothing now. Brian?
Oh,
What you
okay.
got for?
I know Tim gave you a pool update. I'm going to give you an update on the employee status. We've had a few more applications come in late last week. Basically right now, from my count, we have at least 4 or 5 lifeguards, 2 front desk people, and a manager. So we're making progress. Hopefully applications keep coming in, and I'm going to get with the manager that we hired, because he sent me some emails that he has people and the applications are coming in, but I haven't seen them. So I'm going to give him a call this week to see where we're at on that stuff, because we need employees bad.
All right.
Brian, how many?
Huh?
You
what?
said you had 4 or 5 lifeguards and a manager hired.
4 or 5 lifeguards right now. 2 front desk people, and the manager, of course.
Okay, thank you.
And how many total people are you looking for? Lifeguards and front desk? I mean, managers. The front desk, we only need a couple. We're in desperate need of lifeguards. We need at least, I think, if I think back from a couple years ago, I think Megan and Josh, they hired like at least 15 lifeguards because, for the summer.
Right. So we're only about a third of what we need.
Yeah, we're only about a third of what we need. Yes. And I don't know, I advertised in the newspaper, which has been in twice now. And And of course, I posted on Facebook in the school. So, I mean, and I know the manager has been contacting his friends to apply, and he says that they have, or they're going to, but I have yet to see any of the applications come in. I'll get with him this week where we're at.
Okay.
I think we're just going to start with what we have and keep hiring probably into June, probably.
Right, which I guess at some point, if we're short on lifeguards, means we have to look at probably reduced hours until we get up to staff.
Yeah.
So, okay. Does anybody have any questions for Brian on that? I'll note too, because only a couple of us were on finance, I did bring up in finance and should have asked it. Just occurred to me, ask Joey. Yeah, there's a chlorine shortage, and prices of chlorine is going up. So I mentioned it in finance that cost associated with both the wastewater plant, the water plant, and the pool is something we'll have to monitor as we go throughout the season here with this shortage. So, Brian, you got anything else right now?
We've had one membership sale so far.
Well, all right. Well, one's a start. One is a start. So, all right. Anybody got questions for Brian? All right. Jeff, I think you're on here.
Yeah, I'm on. Just one piece of legislation on for a first reading that went through this evening. Terry is asking that be considered for adoption purposes this evening so that that project can move forward for bidding. And that's all I have.
All right. So with that, we will move on to our committee reports and finance.
Okay, Mayor, we met tonight at 6 o'clock. Brian Beverly went over the finance. Everything looks pretty good. Everything within budget. We did talk about Ordinance 2021-14, which is a V3 company for an engineering for the roadway, which is like you said will be first reading tonight. We also went over Ordinance 2021-12, the vacation with the employees. Brian wanted a little bit more information or how we want to do the vacation. So we talked about that. That's pretty well most of it. And our next meeting will be June 14th at 6 o'clock.
All right. Any questions for finance? All right. Service.
Yeah, we haven't met since the 26th of last month. Next meeting is going to be May 24th, 6 o'clock.
All right. And safety?
Yeah, our next meeting is May 24th, right after service.
All right. And rules?
Mayor, I wasn't here for it tonight, so I don't really know what went on. Sorry, I was still out working.
We had no rules meeting tonight. Next one, if there's an agenda, is June 14th.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Moving on. Public safety report. Police department. Deputy Chief, you still on?
I am.
There you are.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Did
Got
Chief
a
Dussey?
report for?
No, I do not. Did Chief Tussey provide one to you?
I don't think I got one in email yet. So
Oh.
anything major going on, I've seen
Everything
a
we
couple
do
people
is
saying that.
Everything we do is major, sir.
Yeah.
There's nothing significant at the moment that I can think of.
Okay.
We are in the process of training up some new part-time employees. That's going very well.
That's good. I swore them in, what, 3 weeks ago now, right around the last meeting? No, it's been
Yes, sir.
since the last meeting, so
Yes,
they're
sir.
doing well?
They're doing well. I expect you'll probably be seeing them out in the community. As far as on the street, we're doing very well with the sheriff's office and responding to Pleasantville and calls here. We had a call here this evening before I came in, and had 2 sheriff's deputies back me up on that. So things are going very well right now.
Good deal. And I will note that it was actually the officer on patrol at 1:30 this morning that noticed the water pouring out of the roadway, and got in contact with Tim and Joey to get that reported in.
That was Officer Leifer. He's one of the new officers. And, that's one of the chief's priorities is to have people out there during the late night hours, early morning hours. So it's a good thing he was out there.
Yep. And do you know by chance where we're at on the ordering of that mobile feed unit?
I do not, but I'll mention it to the chief. I'm sure he'll get with you on it.
Okay.
Mayor, I know.
Yeah, just send us an update.
Mayor, I know it's been ordered.
Oh, okay. So there we go then. It's been ordered.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you. All right. Anybody got anything for Deputy Chief?
I do. While we was in the finance meeting, the doorbell rang. My wife said about an 18-year-old boy come up to the door and asked for $5. She says she watched him. He walked across Johnston Park and went to a couple of houses over there toward, where Missy lived. Have you heard anything about that, Chief? Anybody else ever report about people coming up to the house and asking for money?
This is the first report I've gotten it from anyone tonight about it.
Okay.
Did you or your wife call?
No, I didn't. I knew I was going to talk to you tonight, so I just told her I'll say something to you tonight.
When did it happen?
It's about 6:30 tonight. While we was on finance meeting.
Okay. All right. No, I did get a call about someone on a ATV over in the area of Johnson Park. But
yeah, there was a go-kart over there last weekend or something like that riding around. Yeah.
Well, and while we're talking Johnson Park area, DC, I haven't seen it and I haven't walked over there to see it, but I've been told that where Tim has put up the ballards to stop the people from using what they've made into a road, that they've been going around it and into people's yards to get onto Gordon Street.
Yes, okay. Yeah, that's correct.
And so that, I don't know, at the end of a practice or something, maybe we can sit someone there. And of course, driving a car through a yard is a good criminal damage charge, especially going around ballards to do it.
Yes, I did see those over there, but I haven't seen anyone obviously driving around them, but we will pass that on and definitely keep an eye out for it.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else got anything? All right. Hearing none. Thank you, Deputy Chief. We'll move on to the fire district.
Okay, nothing to report since my last report, but our meeting is at May 20th at 6:30, and it's going to be at Station 611. That's it.
This is your offsite meeting, or offsite other station meeting.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
They do it once a year.
All right. Any questions for Bob, the fire district right now? All right. We'll move on then to planning and zoning. Our next planning and zoning meeting and BZA meeting is this Thursday, the 13th. At the last meeting, I had told everyone we were planning on doing the public hearing on the zoning code changes regarding, bed and breakfast, short-term rentals, and I think we had lot coverage on there as well. However, in between that meeting and the end of the month, Terry had 4 variances submitted, which have to be set within so many days. So we decided those variances are going to take up a large portion of the time. So we did not advertise the public hearing. For that, we're going to put that off a month since nothing is incredibly urgent on that. And like I said, so the entire meeting this Thursday will be a BZA meeting. The variances there are 2 of them, 2 homes side by side. It's a fence variance. Some of you may remember one of the things Dwayne often brought up about fences was, how it's odd that we have fences that have to be set 1 foot off the property line. And I tend to agree with them. I grew up in an area where your fence went on your property line and you just kind of went to your property line. So this variance is to set them up on the property line. And in fact, it's the neighbors are sisters, and they not only want to put their fence on the property line, but they don't want to have the dividing fence between them because they are sisters. That way they have one giant fenced in backyard. And that is over on Cliff Street. There is a accessory structure variance for a parcel on North Main Street. And then there is a parcel at 0 Holder Road. It's for Roger Woods's property there. That's nonconformity for the entrance to the parcel because there's not the way the parcel is currently set up. There is not 100 feet of road frontage, which is required for that, how that property is zoned. So that is going to be our meeting this Thursday. Again, no public hearing on the zoning stuff, all BZA variances. So any questions on those?
Hey, Mayor, this is Bob.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you happen to see that fence on for by Tesla?
I went up to the farm over the weekend, but I didn't go up Watkins Road because of the construction on 40. So I have not seen the bright red fence yet.
Well, I went past there and they made him paint it white.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, but you can still tell that the inside's still red. So, but anyway, it's just something you might want to remember when you guys have your meeting.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And just so everyone else knows what Bob's talking about is we had a conversation. There was a fence on Watkins Road that was painted about as red as I would say probably Mike's shirt is what Bob was describing. So something for the planning and zoning group to keep in mind. If there's nothing else, I'll move on to Tree Commission. We had our Arbor Day celebration on May 2nd. Chuck and Brandy were there. 2 trees were planted at the old firehouse with the help of the Boy Scout troop. It started about 10 minutes later than planned due to an impromptu concert by the church bells across the street. But we got the trees planted, which was a good spot to plant them since the one old tree came down in that area earlier this year as well. So that's my Tree Commission update. I'll move on to Records Commission, where we also held a meeting on April 29th and approved a destruction schedule. So Brian, that should be off to the Ohio Historical Society for their blessing or non-blessing.
Yes, I sent it, but I was also informed that it's no longer required. So all I got to do now is just contact, I don't know. I don't know who to contact to get rid of them.
Well, we'll wait and you and Terry and Barb can figure out who gives the best deal to come in and pick up all those records and give us our certificate. And that's the thing is we just need the certificate of destruction with them. that they've been properly destroyed and disposed of. So, all right. Moving on then to motions, resolutions, and ordinances. There should be a motion coming up though out of finance here, but guys, can we do that with the discussion of ordinance 2021-12? I think kind of makes sense there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. So any other motions at this time? All right, hearing none, we'll go on to first readings. Ordinance 2021-14, which is an ordinance authorizing the village administrator to enter into an agreement with V3 Company for engineering services for the 2021 roadway resurfacing project, miscellaneous roadways, and the declaration of an emergency. Sponsor is Cosgray.
Yes, I'm gonna request, make a motion for suspension of 3 reading rule.
Keller, second.
All right. Roll call.
Cosgray,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Hankinson,
Yes.
Keller,
Yes.
Curry.
Yes.
All right, 3 readings suspended.
I'll make a motion that we adopt ordinance 2021-14.
I second. Keller.
All right. And discussion on this. Again, this is for the roadway resurfacing projects we're going to do that are not part of the OPWC project, but we're allowed to bid them out with the OPWC project, so we don't have the reciting fees of them coming in and out of the village to do the different roadways. V3 is doing the engineering for the OPWC project. We've already approved that one. This is just for the self-pay roads that we're going to be doing this year. Hearing no other discussion, we'll have roll call on this.
Okay, Cosgray,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Hankinson,
Yes.
Keller,
Yes.
Curry.
Yes.
All right. Ordinance 2021-14 will be adopted. Brian, since this is a company we already have a relationship with, do you need me to come in and sign this, or is it something that I can sign the next time in and you can just give them a call in the morning, tell them go ahead, and it's all been approved?
This is something that can wait when you come in.
Okay. Okay. All right. Then we'll move on to second reading. Resolution 2021-11, a resolution granting a special use agreement to the Baltimore Festival Committee for the use of various village facilities for the Baltimore Festival. Sponsor Hamilton.
Yes, Mayor, this is just a resolution we make every year giving the festival permission to use Johnson's Park and that for their festival. So,
all right.
Do a third reading.
All right, then we will leave that on for May 24th. We'll move on then to ordinance 20. Yeah.
I will add on to that, the festival, I'm on the park committee. During the park committee meeting, Mr. Hamilton come in, and they are going to put 4 speakers up there where the rides are at. So people, something going on, they can get it out to the whole park during the festival. And he said that if anybody else decide they want to use the park and want to use the speakers in the PA, he'll let them use it also. So which should be a plus.
So it'll be a permanent installation?
The speakers will, yeah. There's that electric pole just west. No, it's the second one west of the Shelter House. If you look at it, if you look out in the field, that second one kind of to the west of the Shelter House.
Okay. And then so the wires will just go along the existing wires?
No, they're going to put them underground. They're going to put them underground. Okay. And the PA will go in the Shelter House. Back in the there's a room back in there. They're gonna hook it up back in there, a utility room or something. They can
Right.
lock it up.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Anything else on this one? Or questions for Chuck and Parks about the PA? All right. Ordinance 2021-12, an ordinance amending Chapter 240, Employee Manual of Personnel Policies and Regulations, the Baltimore Codified Ordinances. Sponsor is Keller.
Okay, Mayor, this is the second reading, and we're going to let it go to the third reading. So if any employees have any questions or remarks or anything that they can, they can bring it up.
Right, and this is the one we discussed in finance about how Brian will prorate the payouts this year.
That's correct.
Right, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we go ahead and allow Brian to do the payouts before the third reading.
And this is because we have one employee who just had an anniversary date.
And I second that motion.
All right.
They have to specify the employee, Mayor.
Are we
Is it
going to have any? It probably wouldn't hurt since we only have one employee that'll be in this period.
Should we just pass
So-
it?
Well, when we talked about it, we wanted to, because of the way that was one of the options we had and talked about, but we talked about leaving it on for a third reading so that the idea of how we came up with the proration and this stuff, Brian can spend a little more time with it and make sure the employees understand how it's going to change. They're still going to get their payout on their anniversary date this year, and then their time gets prorated from their anniversary date until the end of the year, and then all of their vacation days get given to them on January 1 of 2022, and then the payout is on the last paycheck of the year instead of their anniversary date starting in 2022. But we wanted to leave it on for a third reading just in case, as Brian goes through, doing it for this first time with Brad, who just had his anniversary date, or when they talk with the guys and Peg about how this will work, if there were any questions that popped up or anything, we just thought it might be best to leave on for a third.
Okay.
But go ahead and make the motion so that Brian can go ahead and pay out Brad for his anniversary date payout now instead of waiting another couple of weeks.
Yeah.
A good question.
Somebody gonna make the motion, or
Any
do I
other-
make it?
Oh, Wade
No,
already
wait,
made the
wait.
motion.
I'll second it.
Wait, well, Chuck seconded it. We're in the
Oh.
discussion period now.
We're
so-
good. We're good then. Let's do it.
Yes. All right. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Okay, Cosgray,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Hankinson,
Yes.
Keller,
Yes.
Curry.
Yes.
All right. Motion carries. And then we will have ordinance 2021-12 on for a third reading on May 24th. Let's see, no other second readings, no third readings. Does anyone have any old business? All right. Does anyone have any new business? All right. I think there might be one visitor on the line. Is there any visitor comment? We'll give a second to unmute just in case. All right, hearing no visitor comments. Our next meeting is set for May 24th at 2021 at 7:30. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
I think Hamilton got that second.
Everybody beats me to it now.
All right. Foreman gets the second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, unanimous voice vote. We are adjourned at 8:24.
Hey,
Good
everybody.
quick meeting, everyone. Appreciate
guys.
it. I hope y'all have a good evening.
Good night.
Good night.
And Barb, if you're still on,